This pill can solve all of your problems. It's called Prozac, and it may mean the end of depression as we know it.
I've been taking Prozac for 2 years.
And what difference has that made?
Brilliant.
Oh, she's smiling. Eyes lighter.
And I feel as if I'm back to normal.
You feel normal?
Yeah.
And you feel a better person?
Yeah, yeah.
Has it worked? You look very dubious, my friend.
Apparently it has. I can't help being suspicious of it. I don't think she's the woman I married.
Why?
I think she's changed.
In what way?
I don't know, but there's something there that is different.
Okay, she's not the woman you married. Is she a better woman?
No, she's different.
My name's Paul.
My name's Andy.
And this is Tuesday, the 3rd of March, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Open the recording this evening with Super Suntan Mr. Kilroy. Kilroy Silk.
Remember him, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting times.
Yeah.
Interesting times. That's about 10 years ago, that was live. BBC One, a chat show, sort of an audience chat show thing. BBC One. And, talking about Prozac and how it makes us different, but that's not the show this evening. That's just a clip that we started with.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really talk about the sort of things that most people are listening to, because everybody else is doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody else is already doing that. So rather than sit and study paper after paper, report after report, inquiry after inquiry, and give you our opinion, we don't do that.
No.
Because it'll drive yourself mad. It'll actually drive yourself mad. You're trying to look for something that doesn't exist. The world of truth doesn't exist on the internet. The world of opinions and arguments and wars, that's what appears on the internet.
Perpetual war.
Absolute brilliant. It doesn't matter if you think you've got the truth. Good for you. If you've still got the same version of the truth next week, good for you. If you've still got the same version of the truth in a year's time, you're a lazy git, because it should have changed. It should have moved along a little bit, because what appears to be how things work is just how far you've got.
Yeah.
It isn't the end. The journey is your life. The destination is the journey. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
You and I now realise that because of the ages we are. We're in autumn. We're moving into autumn.
Mm-hmm.
We've had our time in the sunshine. We've had our opportunity to touch the stars. And we accept our time has come and gone. Are we giving up on life? No, we're doing what older people should do. What older people have forgotten to do. Attain and share something that we think is valuable. And spreading opinions and creating arguments and discourse is something that we both agree can't be spreading wisdom.
No, it doesn't help.
It's not working, is it?
No.
You know, the old people's job was to share things of value that they'd learned throughout their lives. Through the medium of television and many other things. Mostly the medicines. They don't have anything to give us. So the younger generations see them as less valuable. And if we carry on the road we're on, they'll see them as having no value.
Yeah.
They'll be quite happy to, 70 years is a good innings.
A good innings.
It's a good age, is 70. It's a good age, yeah. Conspiracy theories is what people think we're talking about, but we don't. We talk about what we see. What we actually see and what we understand.
Yeah.
And how we understand it.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lovely comment today from somebody on YouTube who's listened to us for a while now. Going back and listening to the shows again, initially they all sound the same, but they're not. There's a little bit of something different in all of them. Our reason for doing this is to leave behind something that we think somebody might actually get something from.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter whether you do or you don't. We do.
Mm.
That's what matters. That's
Yeah.
why we do it.
Mm.
We get something from it. To the uninitiated, it sounds like we're doing the same show every week. And do you know what? That is true. We are doing the same show every week, but we're trying to say it in a different way.
Different way, yeah.
We try and say it a little bit differently. Truth seekers, it's a terrible, terrible journey you've got to put yourself on. Just hold on to reality and try not to get the two things mixed up.
Mm.
People do, don't they?
They do.
They do. They always get them mixed up.
Mm.
They think TV is how life should be. It isn't.
No, and this is TV version 2.0.
It is. This is the better version. Now
You
can show yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to sit
This
down.
is your
You know,
Andy Warhol version.
We've talked about admission and admitting one.
Yeah.
You know, that's the price of getting into a show, is the admission price.
Mm.
Because you're the one with the show. You're the one that is doing the show. You are actually arranging your entire life as a presentation. But you don't see it. Because all you're busy doing is copying.
Mm-hmm.
You're copying what you think other people like. But that's not you.
No.
It's not you. We have too many people that are unskilled. The reason they're unskilled is because they never felt they had to be skilled.
Mm-hmm.
We perhaps are surrounded by people who say, you know, the descent of mankind has begun. And I'll say, yeah, I think we are on a well-trodden path. But when did the descent begin?
Mm.
For me, 300 or 400 years ago.
I would have said so, yeah.
This isn't just the start of it. We're almost at what you might call the end of this version of mankind.
Mm.
What you and I are is not being created anymore. There will be no more versions of us Yorkshiremen as such. Roast beef, Yorkshire puddings, a pint of beer, that sort of thing.
Mm.
There will be no Yorkshiremen. There is no Yorkshiremen. They might claim they are. I'm not eliminating everybody, but the fact of the matter is, we're Europeans now.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have to get used to being European. Now, on BBC 4, on Monday evening, I think it was, I've got it up on my Facebook page, they played a documentary called The Great European Disaster Movie. Brilliant propaganda. Absolutely excellent. And you and I have spoken over the years and said that we think that we are the tip of the spear. We actually go and say what we think is going to happen next, what we can see happening, and then we report back to headquarters or anybody who wants to listen what's coming next.
Yeah.
And they laugh at us a little bit and make us feel, they try and embarrass us by making us feel silly for what we're saying. And then as time goes by, we prove to be right. And once you get that bug of, you're not arguing with me now, are you? Then off you go again to find out the next chapter.
Mm.
Well, what we've been talking about appears on TV about a year or 2 or 3 later. And we're starting to realise how this is done. It's given to us people sat on the front seats, us people inspecting the minutiae of the show, day in, day out. We're not reporting what we're told to. We're not reading off a teleprompter. We say what we see. The powers that be, the best spying machine in the world, listens to what we see, listens to what we say, listens to how we react, and then decides how to present it to the wider public. Because they have to tell us what's going on. Otherwise, we can't blame ourselves for when it goes wrong. Does that make sense?
Do that, yeah.
We blame ourselves when it goes wrong. Because we've been told if we don't act or do or stand up against, then the actual result will be this. Mm-hmm. And we don't, so it is. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now we feel guilty because we didn't do what we should have done.
Mm.
But to ease our consciences, nobody else did either.
No.
No one else did, so I'm only sort of feeling guilty in my own little world. And we don't talk about it to each other, because if we did, we'd make each other feel guilty. And then we'd have a whole world of people who'd say, well, I was having a good day till you started talking to me. Have you heard that before? See how that works? Yeah. So it's brilliant. All that happens, we end up blaming ourselves for, because we didn't stand up against it.
Mhm.
You couldn't believe that could work, could you? You couldn't believe that could actually work, and yet it does.
Yeah.
It works every single time.
It is the ultimate game show, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
All game shows are built on that. Do you want to gamble?
Yeah.
Should you gamble? Oh, I should have gambled. Oh, I shouldn't have gambled. And it is a game show that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And all those formats that you follow, and all they're doing is testing how well they've copied and pasted things.
Yeah.
When did Anne Boleyn's head cut off? Do you know the answer? And it's total recall. How much of this information can you store up?
Trivial pursuit.
And make yourself look better than the rest?
It's a trivial pursuit.
It certainly is.
I know something you don't know that doesn't make me any money unless I take part in the quiz show, so I get paid for it.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not. It's life's going to turn into a game show, as you say. You're absolutely right. It is going to, because unless there's going to be a massive culling, and I know the West and the East have been set up against each other again. You know, how many years we've been falling out with Syria now? How many years we've been subsidising a war in Syria against whoever?
Well, they're just surrounding Iran, aren't they?
Look, that greatest,
surround your enemy.
The greatest story ever told in the world talks about the obliteration of Israel and the returning of their saviour.
It does, yes.
The king of the Jews. Right, it's not the king of the Christians. It's not the king of the Muslims, is it?
No.
Nope, it's not Buddha's best pal. It's the return of the king of the Jews. That is what the best story ever told claims is going to happen.
Yeah.
And Israel is going to get wiped off the map again. We live in North Yorkshire, don't we? Is there anything we can do to actually make any difference to what's going to happen? No. There isn't, is there?
No.
So I really don't think occupying our time researching and scaring people to death, which the world's been doing ever since the world figured out that being scared was the best thing.
Yeah.
You see, being scared works. Really, from you love being scared. Even when you're little.
You do.
Even when you're... Oh, Daddy, do it again, do it again, do it again. It doesn't change when you get older.
No.
It doesn't change. It's
just a different wardrobe monster.
It's a creation, isn't it? It's the creation of a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's overcoming something that's been put there for us to overcome. The ghost train, the roller coaster, riding your bike without stabilisers, your motorbike, your driving test, your exams, your first girlfriend. All these things are here for us to overcome. We'd call those things rites of passage, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
That's growing up. Right? Take it, but not all of it. Okay? Not all of it is really a challenge. Going on the fairground, isn't it? It's just overcoming fear, isn't it?
Just facing your fears.
That's all it is. So we like facing our fears, but they're not real fears. We've just seen somebody else do it and they're fine.
Yeah.
There's no risk to us, is there?
No.
So it's actually counterfeit fear. Because I could get killed. Well, I probably won't, because I've checked the stats and nobody does. You say, I'm scared, but I'm not really scared that I'm going to die or get hurt or something.
Yeah. What a worrying trend for me is on these game shows, and we've progressed from game shows now to reality shows, haven't we? There are a few on at the moment now that I've been trying to catch this 10,000 BC, and I managed to catch it again last night because that's putting people back to the Stone Age.
Right.
And they've put a group of people back to the Stone Age.
That's Channel 5, isn't it?
It's Channel 5,
yeah.
and it came down to food. There were,
of course it
and
does.
they got rid of somebody
Food and water.
out of the camp because it meant more food for them. They were happy that they'd gone because it were more food. And then you've got I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Celebrities eating bugs and competing against each other. You've got the Channel 5 programme, again, is Big Brother. Groups of people, and it's all about eliminating people.
But everything's starting to look like bugs.
Yeah.
Have you noticed bugs, what the fish eat?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
See, we're being bugged.
We are.
We're being bugged.
And being eliminated at the same
style,
time and enjoying being eliminated.
Look at the style of the cars.
Yeah.
Look at the style of the helicopters. Yeah, look around us. You know, look at everything we've got. Bugged. You see, the Germans promoted the Aryan race, didn't they? But in the new language, which is the old language, which is the language we've always spoken, Only works in English, somebody said. I can't. You need to smack him, don't you? You really shouldn't be putting comments on you. You're not ready. You're not ready to do this. But it was the Aryan race, wasn't it?
Mm.
If we put the water into that, we get the Aquarian, don't we?
Yep.
Which is the next. That's what we're moving to next.
That's the next phase.
Yeah, Pisces into Aquarius. Well, the only thing that I can think of, because I'm thinking tank here, because think tanks are the ones that shepherd us along.
Yes.
Well, shepherds and think tanks don't really go together, do they? Unless you're thinking of sheep and fish.
Mm.
Now they do. Now they do, you see. So if I had a think tank, I think I'd call it Shep.
Mm.
So we've got by hook or by crook, which the hook is for the fish and the crook is for the sheep.
Mm.
Do you think they're going to get us one way or another?
One way or another, yeah.
I think SEE and SEA is now people are starting to realise that after all these years we've been saying this, the duality has been brought into a singularity, and we'll be in an aquarium.
Yep.
We're going to live in an aquarium. We already live in an aquarium now. But whether it will be a domed city, whether we'll actually be eating and breathing clean air and chemical food, and whether everything around us will be artificial, not in our lifetimes.
No.
But I think in years to come,
the utopia probably will be.
Yeah, but the utopia won't be for us, will it?
No, not for us.
We're not going to see that, are we?
No.
We've been promised utopia ever since.
No,
it's not coming. We're the human experiment. This is the latest experiment that's failed.
Yeah, we're being conditioned.
Shampooed
we
on.
We do it every day.
We've been shampooed on.
And then you put your conditioner on.
I don't know. The more we see, the more we laugh at it.
Well,
we're here. We can't believe we're here, but we're here anyway.
We are. This is our game of catchphrase, isn't it?
I suppose it is. Yeah.
Say what you see.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start saying what you see,
it links together.
It does, yeah.
Everything is linked, isn't it?
And I've had people say to me, "Oh, you're just making it fit now."
That's what they did.
Yeah, that's what exactly.
They used something and said that fits. That fits. Yeah, exactly. I was doing the word root today, just for a bit of fun. I was doing the word root, and all the different ways we have of the magic spell of root, all actually make the same conclusion.
Yeah.
R-O-O-T, where you started from.
Where you started from.
R-O-U-T-E, where you started from, okay, and your finishing point.
Yeah.
R-O-U-T-E-R, the router that we've got. Yeah, that just directs where it started from. That's the as above, so below bit.
It is, yes.
It brings it in and delivers it to you.
Yeah, are you looking in the fish tank, or are you looking out of the fish tank? Because that refracts, when you're looking in, things are refracted through it.
And when it comes back out, the flick the other way around.
Yeah, the fish see it from a different point of view.
Completely the other way around.
Completely, yeah.
They see it in the mirror.
Yes.
As we look into a ponder, if we ponder, you look into a still water pond, okay, you're looking in a mirror.
Yeah, you are.
You're looking in a mirror. It turns everything around. But that's what happens here. That's what happens here. The magicians.
That's where we get the word spin from. Spin it round.
Doctor.
Yeah, spin doctor. Yeah.
You spin me right round, baby, like a record. Dead or alive.
Yeah. Two sides, A or B. The B side were always the crappy side, wasn't it?
It was the less popular side, wasn't it? It was the less popular side. But again, that was music culture, wasn't it? That was music culture, and it was it was delivered by a record arm, and in the arm, at the end of the arm, was a needle.
Yes,
but it had a correct name.
It did,
and it was called
a needle, a stylus.
A stylus. Stylus. So anybody who thinks vaccinations are not designed to jab. They're called jabs and blows. No, they're called
shots.
Shots, that's the word. Jabs and shots. Okay, in our arm to create a new culture for styling us.
And you've got to get in the groove.
that's proper. Drug. Is drug the past tense of drag?
Groove.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Got to be, yeah.
It actually has to be, doesn't it?
Drug or dragged.
It has to be, yeah.
Did you drag it or did you drug it?
Well, but you're a user, aren't you? When you're a drug user. Well, I mean, you're an internet user. Isn't so? User indicates addiction, doesn't it?
And they're called track lines, aren't they?
They are called track lines, yeah.
He's done, we're making this up now. We're just making it fit.
A hero in you. A hero in you. Pass me that. Pump me up, Scotty. Yeah. There'll be a hero in me. What you taking? I'm taking heroin.
It's now.
It makes me more than I ever thought I was.
If you're pregnant, heroin is less harmful to your baby than.
Why have you told me?
Than drinking, than alcohol.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I have seen in the wonderful world of Disney here. Okay, I've been in the wonderful world of Disney. Have a little round. Okay, they can't stop themselves in here.
With your mouse.
I've been controlled by a mouse. Right, people can't stop themselves. They cannot stop themselves. M-I-C-K-M-O-U-S-E.
You had to do the ears as well, didn't you?
Yeah, have you noticed? No, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now. I'm trying to do something
Wonderful
newsworthy.
World of Disney. You were on about Wonderful World of Disney.
Slap your hands in face and send notes home to your mother if you carry on like that. Well, they were saying my nose is running. It's not really going anywhere. Anyway, Fight Book it's just, if you're listening to us now and you're fighting on Fight Book and falling out with people, pack it in. You're never going to get anywhere.
No.
If you think having arguments on the internet is good for you, it's bad for you. It's terrible for you. It's not. You've got to stop arguing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll never actually move on, because the fight to be right is silly.
Mm.
Because how can you win an argument with a liar? Because that's what everybody does on here.
Mm.
Everybody take this quiz, find out how smart you are. Right, I guarantee if they don't know the answer to the question, they Google it. They Google it, fill it in, and say I'm a bloody PhD or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The old conspiracy theories about Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney died in a car crash.
Yeah.
He was replaced by a guy called Charlie Summit.
Mm. Another
Why?
Charlie.
Yeah, but why spend your time on these things?
I know.
All right, okay. First of all, the chances of you actually finding out if you're right or wrong, pretty much zero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and even if he has been replaced, so what? What's to win for you?
Mm.
What are you going to gain out of knowing that information? Why would you think you need to know that? Well, I'm interested. Why? Because I am. It's not answering. There's no value in it for you.
No.
There's no reason that you should spend, because time is spent.
Mm-hmm.
Why would it matter? Well, I'm just interested. I'm just curious about those things. But I've just told you, you're never going to find confirmation. And why bother? We have a whole army of people at the bottom end. They're not there by mistake, are they?
No.
They're there because they're bloody dumb. They're there because they're the slowest. Now, it's only in the world of what school says you should be. I'm not being rude to you in the way that you think I am. I actually was speaking to a gentleman today. He's a dental implant maker. He makes teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I was chatting to him today, and I don't know why I told you his occupation, but anyways. And he was saying that he was having trouble teaching people how to do his job, actually physically make teeth.
Right.
Because they're handmade.
Mm.
He actually makes them by hand. I said, I'm sure there'll be a machine out there you can do it. He said, putting them in and making them fit. He said, we haven't quite got a machine to do that yet. He said, we take the measurements ourselves and then we actually X-ray it, take the measurements, make the tooth, then we go fit it. If needed, we'll go and fit it. So it needs to be, as close to, and we always leave ourselves a little bit so we can make small changes on site if we need to, so it fits perfectly. Right. And I said, how's business? How's things? And I said, I find like getting the kids to work, for me nowadays is very hard. He said, I have the same trouble. I said, well, the more intelligent schools says they are, the less successful they are working for me here. He said, I can agree with that statement. And I said, in fact, to be honest, I said, the least academic pick up this job the fastest. And he said, I'm going to agree with you again. He said, but I have to take on certain qualifications and certain standards. I can't just recruit anybody like I used to in the old days.
No.
He said, believe it or not, in the old days, he said, when somebody came for a job interview, I gave them a paper clip, a small set of pliers, and a 50p. He said, in the actual interview, or the challenge, was to undo the paper clip and make it into the same size and shape as a 50p with a pair of pliers. He said, and that was the test. And if they could make it somewhere near, then we'd take them on for training. So that was it. He said, yeah. He said, now they have to have 5 grades in 5 subjects, this, and this. He said, they're not the ones that can work with hands and heads. He said, they can only work with heads, they can't work with hands. Well, if you look at a clock or a watch, you realise that the one thing time does do, keeps the hands busy, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Keeps the hands busy, the hands are always moving. If you just use your head, you're dead. Because head and dead rhymes with red and lead.
It does.
Doesn't it? I wondered if you just use your head and you don't produce anything or create anything of value, are you dead? I'm only asking the question.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
We know that the language rhymes. It rhymes on purpose.
It does.
Because everything was at one time, poetry was the art of communication.
It made it easy to learn.
And it also, the reason why you rhyme things in poetry is because they're connected.
They connect. Yeah.
That was how the poetry worked. The poetry and the rhyme was the skill. So, when you hear head, dead, lead, red, it's correct. It's like the word earth. Okay, it's made up of a number of spells. And in the word earth, you can find the word ear,
heart,
tear, heart, tar, art, are. But write all those words out and realise that, that's the earth. Smack bang in the middle. The only living bit, the only living part of our galaxy we can see that has life as we recognise it on it. Even though the scientists tell us that we can only see 4% of what we call light. 96% of the light spectrum is not available to our eyes.
No.
And even less on the hearing spectrum.
Yeah.
We can only hear a very small range of sounds compared to what could exist.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've done it a long time ago. Where if you really want to know the Earth's rhythm and frequency, just stand up. Stand up with your leg, with your feet just 6 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches apart. Put your hands by your side, and you can feel the Earth. You can actually feel the candle in the wind, standing on the ship's deck.
Your body hits a rhythm, doesn't it? Rocking backwards and forwards.
And that is the rhythm of what you're living on, a living planet. This thing repairs itself. This thing puts up with us on it, because we're the only ones that live in complete contrast to it, don't we? Compared to everything else, we live in complete contrast. We rip it.
We do, yeah.
I'm not saying you and I can be blamed for that, because we're actually living a lifestyle that is being held back. I mean, the oil industry has been holding us back for a long time now. If we still think that today's technology is still using jet engines and internal combustion engines like we have, that's rubbish, isn't it? You know damn well, and I know damn well that's old technology that the oil industry won't let us escape from, because it's the economy of the world. It'd be like fixing cancer. Who wants to fix cancer? Well, nobody involved in it, because they're doing themselves out of a job.
Yeah.
This is how you learn to look at the world in a way that it doesn't matter what's right and wrong. It's what's right for the person doing it. You know that, and I know that. And history itself, I mean, we can talk about history all day, but history my history of my life changes over time. Maybe yours has.
Yeah, definitely.
When you look back at situations you were in when you were, I don't know, earlier in life, like maybe 15 through 25, you look at the situations of your life, your experience of life at that time, and if you'd had to write a diary of what happened and why, then you'll have been writing about daily occurrences and your moans and groans and difficulties on a daily basis. But now you can look back at that time and you can put that story into context, and you can come up with a different reason why that was successful and that didn't work out. I've been married. I've only been married once, and at the time that my marriage broke up, I had I would have had a list of reasons why they broke up, why it broke up, but very little would have been my fault. Very little of it would have been my fault because of how it worked out. No more details needed here. But as time goes by, I realised that don't actually want to be married anyway. I don't think I wanted to be. So how can I go back now and use those reasons? I can't. History's changed over time. Because I actually think that I didn't really want to be married anyway.
No.
The psychologists will tell me, oh, you were so damaged, you've never wanted to do it again, you know, you're once bitten, twice shy type thing. I say, you don't know me very well, really. You don't know me at all. I ain't frightened of taking risks, and I'll give anything a go if I think it's a good idea. So no, I'm not timid and shy and paranoid about those sort of things. So no, I don't think I like being married. I've had a number of opportunities to spend time with girls over the years. I've been divorced now over 20 years, and I've chosen not to. I like sort of being single most of the time, really. And people can understand that, you know. People actually have a real problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, oh, I bet you're lonely. I say, what do you lose your bet? No, you're only saying that. I said, no, I'm you gonna. I'm not interested in trying to make you think differently. You've asked me the question. Here's your answer. Take it or leave it. So, yeah, history changes as you get older, doesn't it? And your reasons and understanding improves and matures, ideally. And you find yourself looking at what have you made of yourself? So what have I got now? What am I looking at now? What am I looking at? Who am I looking at? And what do I make of him? And it's that's where the journey really begins, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You know, I think you tell a lovely story of there was a day, not so many years gone by, when I was sat on the loo thinking, is this it?
I've ticked all the boxes, jumped through all the hoops, ticked all the boxes that I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And
just well, we have to put the loop bit in.
Yeah.
and that's where the journey really starts, isn't it?
It was Groundhog Day, yeah.
Well, it is. I mean, people say sometimes, people who don't understand what we do, they say, why do you do this? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You know, it's all, it must be upsetting and it's dark and it's unpleasant. I say, yeah, I'm not going to argue with it. It is. It is. It is dark, it's unpleasant, it's upsetting. But something makes you keep going, doesn't it? Something pushes you on. You know you can't stop there, otherwise you will be enveloped by the madness that is around you.
It lifts that madness off your shoulders.
It does. It actually does feel you are lightened.
And you then stand back.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before, about the bigger picture.
Well, you sometimes find yourself observing yourself.
Yeah.
You're actually watching yourself make a mess of it.
Looking back at yourself, yeah.
Yeah, but even into day-to-day life. You think, right, okay, I know these things, and then you make a mess of it, and you think, you watch yourself making a mess of it.
Why did I do that?
Well,
what did I do it for?
I sometimes say things like, where'd that come from? You know, why have I said that? There was no pre-planning, it was just instinctive and reactive. And, well, so far it's not let me down. It's got me in some embarrassing situations. But sometimes saying what you see, it doesn't. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It means that the person you say it to can never admit you're right. They can't admit you're right because you see too much. So there is a fine line on what you can say and what you can't say. You see too much. And they say, why'd you do it? This is the reward, isn't it? This calmness, this understanding, this knowing, this is the reward. There is nothing else. There is nothing else to be attained here, apart from the calmness, the not needing to argue, and you don't worry about what people think about you. That's why we do this.
You lose the fear.
We've got the ability to say whatever we bloody well want.
Yeah.
And we're not worried about what you think. Because that is one part of the freedom that probably you as a listener don't yet have. You don't have it. And do you know why you don't have it? Because you work for somebody else. You've been indoctrinated to do as you're bloody well told. You have been indoctrinated to fit in. Okay, to be like everybody else. And you have to be. Otherwise you won't be popular at work. So your life will be miserable. Well, who would want that for you? I don't want that for you. But understand what I'm saying to you. You don't have freedom of speech. Even though you say, yes I do. No, you don't. Because you base what you say on people liking you. No, I don't. Yes, you do.
And to get what you want, which is your paycheck at the end of the month.
Yes, you do. That's right.
Yeah.
You have no choice. You will do and say what it is necessary to do and say to get what you need.
Yeah.
And ask yourself, are you on Facebook with your own identity? Are you using your own name? Do you actually know the town you live or the city you live or where you live? You know, are you actually using the correct details? I don't want your phone number, your mobile phone number, your address or whatever, but are you actually using your name and where you live? Because if not, you're guilty of playing the game of pretend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what you're telling everybody else they're doing.
Yeah.
Living an illusion. And the idiots who still say, lose the name, get out the system. Right. What's my option? What are you offering? Oh no, you just tell me what to do, don't you? You just tell me what to do. I mean, Danny Shine put up a video on Facebook today, and he took it down really sharpish. And I've messaged him, but he's not replied. Who'd have thought? But he put a video up, and it's gone now, but he deleted it. I can't find it. And it was a guy being interviewed, and he was a rough-looking fella, but not unpleasant. He was just a rough-looking fella. You know damn well he's not a university professor, and he was being interviewed. And he said, "So what do you think the solutions to those problems are?" And he said, "I think from the moment you're born, I think they should give everybody £1 million, and that's your lot." Now, I laughed at that at first. And then for a moment I thought, I've sort of said something like that before, haven't I?
Suppose, yeah.
I've sort of said something a little bit like that before. No, I don't agree with that at all. And it's not going to happen, so we won't have that conversation. But it's not as crazy as you think. I wanted to get that video, and I wanted to play it, and I wanted to sort of let people stew on that. Oh, he's crazy, oh, he's crazy, oh, he's crazy. I said, yeah. I'd have said that at one point. But is £1 million enough to get through life? If you have to pay for everything. You see, here we are.
I was laughing at.
I was
wouldn't
laughing.
have asked for £1 million. I'd have asked for a bit more.
Well, apparently his rules in his head, it was £1 million. Well, I was just doing the maths, and I was thinking, like, how much do we earn if you use average? Okay, if you use average income, about
What's
20,
that?
about 25, I think.
Is that average?
About average, I think, about 25.
I thought it was lower than that. I don't know, about 13 grand a year or something.
I think in North Yorkshire it's a little bit lower, but I think in the grand scheme of things, the shirts and ties versus the boots and gloves. Yeah, I think about 20. Let's say 25. I think let's say 20. Let's do 20.
To have your BM and your golf club.
All right, exactly.
All right, yeah.
No, that's Harrogate. That's 11 miles that way. That's full of very poor rich people.
That's why I don't live there.
That's full of very poor rich people. And the reason why I say very poor rich people is because they've got a lovely house that they haven't paid for. They've got 2 nice cars that they haven't paid for. They've got gold credit cards that they probably aren't able to clear every month. But they're poor rich people. It looks like they've got a lot of money. The chances are they've probably got less than you and I if they have to pay up the bills tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, they'd definitely need more than $1 million, wouldn't they?
But if you think about it, 25 grand a year, so 4 years is 100,000. So 40 years is your million.
Is your million, yeah.
Okay, but obviously inflation would take that. So inflation would probably create that million figure probably about 30 years. By the fact that your wages are going up.
Yes.
So 25 to 30 years would be the million.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd only get to 25 or 30 years old.
Yeah.
If you see what I mean, because I understood that just his short interview was that you'd have to fund everything you wanted yourself.
So your
healthcare, everything that you need,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to pay for it yourself, which means that probably you'd run out of money by 25, 30.
Yeah. Sounds like a Logan's Run or something.
Well, do you remember? I don't know if I ever saw that Justin Timberlake film, In Time.
I did, yes.
And
on their arm,
where the countdown begins at 25 years old.
Yeah.
And they have to do whatever it takes to acquire the time to stay
alive, yeah.
And everything is paid for in time. Clever film, that, by the way. Clever film. That's gated communities and handing over time in placement of money to live the high life, as it were.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the where was I?
The £1 million.
The £1 million, yeah. So you've got 30 or 40 years left to have invested that £1 million in you, so you can fund the rest of your life. Make a good film.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy the film. I would enjoy the film. Seeing 4 or 5 different people spend it 4 or 5 different ways.
Different ways, yeah.
I'd enjoy that film.
And now, who'd survive and who wouldn't?
Yeah.
It goes back to that 10,000 BC, similar sort of thing. They've all got to do something within the camp to keep it going.
There is no free lunches, is there?
and
But there is in the Western world. There is.
But there is
in the Western world.
Yes.
Yet these people have children and never work.
And you see it in there that there's 2 or 3 people in there that just think they're there for a free lunch. They're eating the food and lying in bed, not getting up to collect logs and do. And one of the ladies on it said there was a little incident, and they got rid of one of the guys, and they were all interested in the food. But they said if this had happened 10,000 years ago, they'd have taken him out down in the woods and they'd have shot him with an arrow. But I thought, yeah, they'd have done that to you as well, because you're useless. You're just sitting on your backside watching other people do the work, and you're just sat there moaning.
But we have a welfare system that is going to eventually run out of other people's money.
Exactly.
Now, the propaganda film that was played by BBC4 on Monday, which is on my Facebook page, terrified us about all the things that might happen. You know, the cashless society, each country reverting back to its national identity and denying access to people who doesn't want in to travel around, financial collapse, massive unemployment, social unrest, all that sort of stuff. And Britain was actually not part of the European Community. It stepped out and was sort of sidelined. It was standing alone, as it were. And we were led to believe that it would suffer if that happened. We were led to believe that all the trade partners and business that's it would be over. It talked about the European Union collapsing completely. But the film actually was much smarter than that. It was a film about the European Union going to collapse, but the propaganda, the real story of the film was why we shouldn't allow it to collapse.
Why shouldn't allow it, yeah.
So, you actually see it you hear it quite clearly once you watch it in there.
Why you need to be a dependent.
Yes, that's right. So, this system will eventually run out of other people's money, but it doesn't matter, because our gods of creation can create some more.
They can.
They can keep going and keep going and keep going. So the propaganda film, the fear installation, works really well, but they couldn't cope with 500 million people pissed off all at once. They couldn't possibly cope with that. It would be too dangerous for them to try. So there's only 2 methods left. Either colours by covert means, or start World War III.
Well,
they've been going to start World War III just after World War II finished.
They were, but what is worrying them? We put it up on. We mentioned it in a show. I think it was last year sometime, wasn't it? The bill that they brought out for the national service.
Yeah, but that's just something for young people to do if they're not working.
Now, yes, I know. Yeah, but it fits with the agenda of moving that forward to wars, doesn't it? We know it's all built on war. It's the whole thing that keeps the money going round is payment for armaments.
It's the world economy.
It is the world economy.
It's always been the world economy.
Always has, yeah.
Competing and fighting.
Yeah.
I know that, I know. We get a little bit mixed up with our part in this. And our part in this, I think, particularly on a Tuesday evening here in Ripon, is to try and calm people down a little bit. The headless chicken running around, shouting the world is ending, the world is ending, the world is ending, the world is ending.
It's been ending for a long time now.
It's look, you're going to die at some point, all right? Don't try and bring it on a bit quicker. That's my advice is take your time. You've got a little bit left yet. There is no evidence that a world war is needed in this country to control its population.
No, not anymore.
Wars are usually contrived to scare the bejesus out of the people, unite the country, and all against one common enemy. Okay, there is no evidence that a real hot war, is required in this country at all. There is no uprising. There is no revolution forming. I'm sorry to tell you, but there isn't. I know Roger Hayes and Brian Gerrish and Luke Collins. They deliver what they think is what you want to hear. They're doing their part for educating you on what they think you need to know. And I'm going to stop there and say, okay, and that's what we do. That's what we do. Now, they read the news. Okay, they primarily read the news, although I haven't seen much of Roger Hayes. He's kept himself at a very low profile over the last 3 or 4 years. But he'll be back. He'll be back with his banking scheme and his British Constitution group. He'll be back with it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But please don't believe him about the money system. The money system is never, ever going to happen. So when he tells you about, what was it called? The TAMS system, wasn't it? Yeah.
Took £1 million.
The alternative money system. He was having a go.
He was having a go, yeah. Disappeared to a Caribbean island somewhere.
He's never said that one before.
No.
Yeah. The alternative money system, okay? It's barter, buttons, monopoly money, or what you've got. The barter, buttons, and monopoly money you can't pay your bills with. We went to a presentation about 4 or 5 years ago now.
Really?
Maybe a little bit more, I can't remember. And he showed us, and we actually nearly fell for it until we got back in the car on the way home, didn't we?
Yeah.
He showed us a card machine that was going to be able to be used in the high street for the alternative money system.
Yeah.
He showed us some money plates for some notes that were going to be printed for the alternative money system. Yeah. And he told us, like all good old schemes, get in at the bottom.
Yeah.
Because that's where the profit is.
And we will leverage it up. And it wasn't just by a little bit either.
No, it was I can't remember.
500% or something, was it?
Like
something that, yeah.
It was crazy anyway. And we sat there and nodded, didn't we? On the car on the way home, I was like, you don't believe in that shit, do you? And you said, I want to.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be real. I really wanted it to be real. There's no chance that can work. He said, I know, but I wanted it to be real. We really wanted someone to believe in, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we bloody knew. We bloody knew we did. I don't know who these people are, and I'm not going to go any further. I also noticed, we didn't mention it last week, the 2 little kids in the viral video.
Oh, yes.
The 2 little kids. I don't know what's going on there, and there's nobody on here that knows what's going on there.
No.
The little bit of info that I had a little look around was the few things that weren't being asked were the questions that I would have asked. First of all, is it not abuse to put that video online with the kids' faces showing? That's a form of abuse. The kids, they're almost too eager to spill the beans.
They are. They're too confident with it.
They're too confident. They appear to sense no danger at all. But who are the people doing the filming?
Yeah.
Until you get that answer, you don't know the motive.
No.
There is no reason for that. You cannot guess at anything else.
No. And the little girl says Papa. We don't. They speak with an English accent, but we don't say Papa here.
You perhaps haven't looked at the story like I've looked at the story, though. We're talking about a French and English connection here.
Ah, right.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
You saw the video, that's all.
But
I know.
that was my question. Why we don't say Papa here?
No, there's French and Indian English connection here. But I've not gone into it because there is no way the internet is going to be judge, jury, and executioner. But it is, you see, it is.
It is.
Everybody wants to do that. You know, everybody needs to put the sheep's head on, okay, and become the wolf, because that's what everyone's doing all day. It's ridiculous. The whole thing. I mean, like the Holly Gregg thing. Now, I have no idea what happened with the Holly Gregg thing.
No.
Okay, apart from no one seems to have got into trouble, except Robert Greene. But we've got a problem with Robert Greene, haven't we?
We have.
We have a problem with that. And we've talked about it before, and because it's probably been a few shows, probably a year or two since we've said it, we went on the rally call to Aberdeen, didn't we?
We did.
And it was April 2012, I remember it well. Let's get this story out once again. I heard the radio show Luke Collins did with Roger Hayes, Brian Gerrish, and herself. There might have been somebody else on it, but I can't remember. Luke Collins did the radio show. It was a Monday of the week of the rallying call. And I said to you, shall we go? And you said we shall. And I said to Stuart, shall we go? Shall we actually go? It's a Sunday. Yeah. Well, it was a Saturday and Sunday, and we said we can go on Sunday. And shall we go and show our support? Because we'd seen him, hadn't we?
Yes.
We'd seen him at a presentation a long time before.
In Manchester.
In Middleton
In Manchester, yeah.
And we liked him. And we thought, he's prepared to go through all this for that, you know, that little girl. He's prepared to give up and lose so much.
He spoke with confidence.
In the pursuit of justice.
No notes.
Yes, right. And we thought the least we can do is go show our support and hand out a few leaflets. So the radio show Luke Collins did gave out an email address.
Alan Kelly.
And Roger Hayes' email address as well. and a mobile phone number. And we were told to use the email addresses to say where we were going and what we were happy. Well, I remember I got an email back from Roger. I've saved it. We've said there'll be 2 or 3 of us going, perhaps 3 of us, and we're happy to hand out leaflets. I'm looking forward to meeting like-minded people. And Roger basically just sent me a message back saying, right, thanks very much, see you Sunday. So we thought, right, well, there's nothing really for us to do here now, is there? Because the mobile phone number was going to be the meeting point, wasn't it? And it wasn't to be phoned in advance. It was to be phoned just about when you were there.
Just about when you were there. And
so they could say where they were. So we thought, okay, so we've done all we need to. So Sunday morning came. My house, full breakfast, 5:30 in the morning, do you remember?
Yeah. And I'd come with grievances about the email address that I was emailing Alan Kelly.
It kept getting bounced back,
didn't it? Getting bounced back, yes.
Undelivered,
yeah.
And you tried every single combination.
And I said, I wonder if it's my computer. You try it. You tried it. I think Stuart tried.
Didn't go.
No, none of them. No.
But we weren't deterred, were we?
We weren't.
Because I got an email back from Roger. So we weren't deterred.
No.
So we set off to Aberdeen just before 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Sunday the 16th.
Using our own money, fuel, your car.
16th of April, I think it was, 2012.
Yeah.
Was it 16th? 18th? 14th? Anyway, second weekend in April 2012. Beautiful ride up there, wasn't it?
Was, yeah.
One of the nicest drives ever. We got there 10 to 11. That's not bad.
It was. It
was it 300 mile? 302, 303 mile?
Yeah.
10 to 11 we got there. We found a coffee shop.
We did.
And we thought,
looking up at the prison where we thought it was.
Yeah. We shall ring the number. No reply.
Nope.
Give him a minute. We shall ring the number. Straight to message. So we left a message.
We did.
Thought, bet they're busy.
They must be busy. They're not ringing back.
Busy, yeah. Cup of coffee, ham sandwich.
Yeah.
Give him a ring again. Another message. So now what do? So we said, okay, let's go for a ride round.
It's not a big place in Aberdeen.
No, let's go for a ride round. Let's have a think of how this would work if we were organising it. We'd be using car parks.
Yeah.
We'd try and find 2 biggish car parks.
Yeah.
And that's what we'd use, or we would use supermarket car parks.
Yeah.
Or we would try and find somewhere where we can get cars in and get them back out again.
Yeah.
Relatively simply. So when we rode in, we saw there was a big park, wasn't there?
There was
like a kids' play park on the left-hand side with a big car park in it.
Yeah.
And we were surprised they weren't in there.
They weren't there, yeah.
Because that was the road in, wasn't it?
It was the
main
road in.
We said, do you remember us saying? We said, I'd have been in there.
Yeah, that's where I'd
have been.
And it had railings, and I said, I'd have had a banner on them railings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We said, I'd have been in there. Yeah. Anyway, we found out, we headed towards the prison and found the coffee shop. And anyway, half an hour later, we thought, let's go for a ride round.
They must be out. We'll see them handing leaflets out.
Must be, yep.
And we knew what Roger Hayes looked like.
We do. Well, we know what they all look like. So we weren't too worried.
No.
We were a little bit disappointed that it was so badly organised. And we said, we could have organised this better than this. I mean, this is crazy. Anyway, we'll go for a ride round. We did. They weren't there.
They weren't.
So we rang again. And we left a message. Nothing. So we waited from 10 to 11 till about 20 to 1, wasn't it? 12:30, 20 to 1. We'd done Aberdeen twice.
Yeah.
Nobody had called us back.
Round the town centre.
We had nothing at all we could do after that.
Been round the prison.
We'd been to the prison.
Done all the supermarket car parks.
We'd done everything we could think of, and we thought,
there's nobody here.
Well, we actually said, didn't we? Well done to us. We've been fooled.
We've been had.
We've been bloody had.
Yeah.
But well done to us anyway. Well done to us.
Yep.
We were prepared to do it. So we jumped in the car and set off home. About 20 past 1, your mobile rang.
It did.
It did. It was Alan Kelly.
It was.
It was Alan Kelly. And he said, hello lads, where are you? We said, we've given up. We're on the way home.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have said that. But I did. You passed it to me, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Who was driving? You were driving.
I was driving
I was
back.
gonna say, you were driving. Yeah, I was gonna say, I
you
was-
drove up.
I was sat in the back.
So
yeah.
I was driving back.
You passed it to me. I shouldn't have said we're on the way home. I should have said, looking for you.
Mm.
And he said, where are you? I said, oh, we're on the way back. We've given up. We've come a long way. We're a good way back home. We're good half an hour, 45 minutes on the way back home now. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. Oh, we've had nothing but problems.
Mm-hmm.
Computers. Roger left his phone in the hotel room. Who'd have thought? Computers haven't been working. We lost a computer. We couldn't reply to emails. It's been nothing but trouble. Oh, so sorry to have missed you. We had a smashing day yesterday. Good turnout yesterday. And we've certainly got, not a bad turnout. Well done, fellas. Never mind. I'm sure we'll meet again. Thanks very much, fellas. And done. Gone.
Yeah.
They weren't there.
They weren't.
They weren't bloody there. Well, they weren't. Nope.
No, we were done up like kippers.
Yeah. But how come we're the only ones that said they weren't there?
Mm.
How come no other voices are saying that they weren't there?
No.
Well, here's the horrible realisation is that nobody went. Nobody went. Only the fools that don't know went.
Yeah.
Us.
Yeah.
In other words, all the other people who profess support and that they'd hire buses and they'd pick people up on the way.
Mm. Yeah.
Right?
People looking for lifts.
There is
to
something for you to remember here that I'm going to really upset you with. They were lying.
They were.
And I don't even know if they were real.
No.
Because I know this thing has got the power to fool anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We honestly thought there would be 50 or 100 or 150 people because that was the impression we got.
Mm-hmm. Was.
We thought there'd be a bus or two or three from the northwest.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was on the case, everybody excited, and yet there was nobody there.
No.
So you tell me this whole movement is not infiltrated with invisible nobodies. And I'll tell you, yeah,
asking
it is.
for money.
Yeah, it is.
Asking for donate buttons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
DVDs for sale, books for sale, films for sale, egos for massaging, and they don't actually follow their own advice either.
No.
Peace and love, unless you disagree with me.
We were pleased. We were ashamed ourselves.
We're embarrassed.
Embarrassed at ourselves. I was ashamed that I'd fallen for it, but I was also. What it did for me was it set me on another path. It made me look at things in a different way. So it was a good experience.
It was, yeah.
It exposed some people that you think the charlatans are these.
Well, yeah, because the names that we've said never said a word the week after. Not a word. Never said anything.
No.
They never said it was good, it was bad. Nothing was really said.
No, there was nothing.
There was a couple of photos supposedly turned up on Facebook.
Yes.
But they could have been taken in any town, any time, any year.
Yeah.
They were not from Aberdeen, or at least, I don't know. It doesn't matter. They're just, no. We're being lied to. We've been played for fools.
We have been played for fools, yeah.
We no longer get played for fools, which is why we're not playing this guess who knows what's going on game. We talk about, we know what we know.
Yes.
We don't know anything else.
No.
We know how we've been played, how we've been fooled, how we've been lied to, and how the numbers that you believe are involved in this are completely rubbish.
They are.
Rubbish.
Made up numbers.
The people who are involved in this are usually low-skilled, no-skilled, poor people. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be awful and nasty to you, but it is your only hope of salvation, because nobody else is going to save you. I can't help it that you don't have what you need. I know why you don't have what you need, because you never realised you're going to be in this trouble. I know that you don't understand that immigration is what's paying your parents' pensions, because if you ain't working, you ain't bloody paying them, because the deal used to be that the working would pay the pension from mum and dad.
Yeah.
You know, we think immigration's a bad thing in this country. The economy would have collapsed years ago without immigration. There are probably 1, 2, 3, 4 million people, indigenous people in this country, indigenous, mostly white, mostly queued up to go on Johnny McKyle, who are not producing anything. Now I know why, because there's no jobs for them. I understand that. I'm not knocking you for that. But they expect to be fed by the working people. So stop shouting at them. You're signing your own death warrant by doing that. That's the warning that I'm saying to people.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the 10,000 BC.
Exactly.
It took a long time to get there.
Yeah.
But I'm back with the advice that you need to hear,
Mm-hmm.
that nobody else will tell you.
No.
You're signing your own death warrants.
They're eliminating you.
Yeah.
One by one.
Yeah.
Mm.
We said last week that income tax doesn't bother the people who aren't working, but a sales tax will.
Mm.
And that sales tax that's coming is already been... You know what it is? It's called carbon credits.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be an increase in food at the manufacturing end.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to calculate how much energy is involved in producing that product, and then I'm going to have to pay a tax on it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to pass it on to you.
Mm. The clues in the title, carbon footprint.
Yeah.
Now the carbon has not got a footprint. Who's got footprints? We have. What we're made of? 666. The carbon.
They're trying to turn our lights off.
They are, and they're doing it
Making us
very,
dimmer
very well.
and dimmer and dimmer.
Yeah.
Until we're done.
Mm.
We are being buried alive.
We are.
We're being drowned.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing that we're left to eat will be the bugs and the worms.
Correct. I know.
These lot that say, "Oh, switch your TV off. You don't want watching your TV and all."
Rubbish.
That is absolute rubbish.
Don't listen to those people.
Do not
listen to them at all. They are not trying to help you. It's because they want you to listen to them.
Ask them if they've got the money to pay the TV licence.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about the TV licence. I'm going to jack it
I
up.
know, but
I know what you're saying. They haven't got the money to pay the licence.
They haven't.
It's the same as not taxing and insuring your car.
Exactly.
It's wrong. It's not.
It is wrong.
It's not acceptable in today's society. I know you're going to tell me that the free man movement. Look, the free man movement can do what they want. Okay, do what you want. I don't care what you want. I don't care what you do. It doesn't matter to me. You've never sold me an alternative lifestyle that I want to pursue.
No.
So get on with it yourself. Stop pestering me. And your lifestyle is of no interest to me. Sell me a lifestyle that's better than the one I've got. I'm going to be interested. No, you can't create that, can you? So leave me alone.
No. Well, I remember listening to John Harris, a joiner. I'm thinking, a joiner, and I was passing that information. Oh, listen to this guy,
He
joiner.
was being played as
He was
well.
Yes.
He was telling us in the early days what he discovered.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, his connections are dubious.
Where is he now? Yeah.
Well, he basically sent him nuts, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because he so regretted what he'd done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now, does it? The truth doesn't matter in the way that we get it from other people.
No,
the truth is what we can decode it to
and
be.
It changes on a daily basis.
It should change regularly. It should change regularly. I don't know what to say that we've not said a million times before, apart from work out who you are, work out what you want, and don't be frightened to have a crack at it.
No.
It doesn't matter that you get it wrong. It's the fear of getting it wrong that's stopping you trying.
Yeah, and we've said many times we want to be wrong. Oh, God, we'd love it for somebody to go, I had you there.
Well, if I had to actually start writing the book, I'd write it like this. I'd say, I think I am Mr. Average. I think the New World Order, if that's what it wants to be called, looked at me and thought, can we con him? Can we con Mr. Average?
Mm.
Because if we can con him for long enough, by the time he gets older and realises how it really works, he'll be too tired.
Mm-hmm.
He won't be able to push back like he could. And as long as we can ridicule older people and fill them full of propaganda and disinformation, by the time they've figured it out, they've made such a fool of themselves that no one's listening.
Yeah.
Because the last thing we want is wisdom to be shared by old people.
Mm.
That doesn't help our cause at all. So I think I've been Mr. Average, who fell for the stick and carrot, who never gave up the money chase for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Stick and Carrot, who didn't fancy being married. He's a little surprised that he got to be a dad, but I'm okay with it. But I wasn't convinced I was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think our generation was the first generation that the norms were challenged, in a way that never been challenged before.
The 80s.
Those norms were turned upside down, boys to girls, girls to boys, that sort of thing. I think my mum, the 60s, the burn your bra feminism of the 60s, that certainly changed her from what perhaps had been before. But these changes are things you can see. But I mustn't judge about them. We mustn't be judgmental in a way that somehow we can go back and change the past.
No.
We can rethink the past and learn from it, but we can't change it. And every decision we've made it. Ever been a gun to your head?
No.
There's never been a gun to my head either. Never, ever once. I have made the decisions I've made based on what I wanted.
Plenty of punchlines.
And if I thought I could get it. I tell you what I watched actually over the past couple of weeks. I watched House of Cards Series 3. That's with Kevin Spacey. I've seen the first two. It's something you probably haven't watched, but
No,
I've watched it.
I've not watched it.
It's American political drama.
Based on the White House,
It is based on the White House, yeah. And
what was that other one with Martin Sheen in it?
West Wing, wasn't it?
Oh, it's West Wing, yeah.
And I know it's propaganda, and I know it's all designed to so we sympathise with the Americans' position in the world as Mr. Policeman, as the having to make tough decisions.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and sometimes these decisions are they wouldn't be supported by the wider general public knowing about.
Yeah.
So I realised that
collateral damage.
Exactly. But it's very clever. It shows you the not the inventiveness, but the ingeniousness of the writers. I mean, a good film. You never work out the plot till the end, do you? You sit there and watch it, and you hear people. Oh, I knew it was them. Oh, I'd worked it out before then. Oh, I'd worked. No, they don't. A good scriptwriter, he works it so you can never work out what the plot is because he doesn't give you enough information to work it out till the end. Anyway, we always get people. Oh, I did that. I knew that. It sickens me, but annoys me. Never mind. Do we not realise that this is what we enjoy? The suspense. We're suspended. We love suspenders. How smart are these people? Even
Smart.
after all this time.
Smarter than the average bear.
Even after all this time, they still fool us.
Yeah.
They still get us. Make the news, that's what I say. Make your own news. As for friends, they're hard to come by. Do you know why they're hard to come by? Because you don't trust each other.
No, you haven't got the right friends.
And do you know why you don't trust each other? It's because you don't share anything. You don't share any depth, do you? If you think about how the world works on connections and the strength of those connections and the trust that's created by those connections.
Yeah, networking.
But no one actually gets down to the final sentence of why those connections exist. And I'll tell you why they exist. Because there are very few people in the world that you share who you really are with. Because once you've opened up that door, once you've revealed who you really are, once you've emotionally let go of what you've been holding back, the fear of what would they think of me, you only trade that information with the very closest allies. And you only trade it if they trade back. And this is what binds people together, is that I'll tell you a secret if you tell me one. And the game of truth or dare is played by adults like that. And when two adults have shared what will be classed as secret information, then they are bound. They are bound together. Because the trade was classed as successful in that if you reveal what I shared with you, then I will have to reveal what you shared with me.
Secretion. Secreation.
A secretary.
You see?
A secretary.
Oh, stop it, we're just making it up now.
Of course we are, yeah. But that's what happens.
Yeah.
And we realise that the ultimate art of war is a timely betrayal. So we don't give it up very easily. And yet that is what binds friends together. What a dilemma, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it?
It shouldn't be.
But it isn't, is it?
No, not
It
really.
isn't. It isn't the ability to be emotional, the ability to be kind, the ability to be generous, isn't that strength once you actually grasp it properly. If you actually share something with somebody that you think is important and hopefully will cement that relationship, make it stronger, and if they use it against you, or they ridicule you with it, or if they don't sense its importance and depth, then you don't need them anyway. They're not your friend, are they?
No, they're not. No.
No matter what happens, if anybody said to me, "Your pal Andy," he might say one thing to you, but he says another to me, I'd say, no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He does. You never know anybody. You never know anybody until the time comes, do you? I say, I know you are. I say, well, no, don't you? I'm only telling you things that you don't know. I say, no, you're lying to me. My friend Andy would never do that. That's the difference.
That is the difference, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody could tell me that you have done this, especially if it was something that was unpleasant towards me or whatever. Nobody could tell me, because I know you wouldn't do it.
No.
I just know you wouldn't.
And likewise, yeah.
And that's the power, isn't it? That's the power of the bind. You know, that's the best you can hope for. And you've got to try that with people. And if they don't appreciate what you're trying to do with them, they're not ready for you. They're not actually ready for you.
No, and they're not a true friend.
That's one thing we can say about truth. Friends love it. They love sharing it between each other. For another Tuesday.
Yeah,
My
thank
name's
you
Paul.
for listening. Mine was Andy.
And this has been our Unpenned Show.
Good night from me.
Bye for now.